How's it going, folks? So, I know there's been a lot of talk of cancel culture here recently. Elon Musk purchasing Twitter, free speech, and things of that nature. Many people have already chimed in on this issue. And what's prompting me to chime in on this issue is some comments I've received from somebody on my channel. Now, I'm going to say right now, I don't agree with the whole ethno nationalism thing. I think it's unethical to deprive somebody of their basic rights based on race, sex, whether or not they're homosexual, and things of that nature. This is aside the point. Um, in the comments, this person is indicating that it's better that we have a conversation on Gab, which I haven't logged into in a while. And honestly, I haven't really gotten around to setting up a DM and chatting with this person. With that being said, I don't think this person should be censored either. Furthermore, it's indicative when this person has to hide their identity to the world because they're concerned that, as long as they keep speaking, and somebody finds out who they are, the wrong person finds out who they are, they can go after their job, go after their social life, and just try to ruin this person personally. That is cancel culture. With that being said, it really is both wrong and idiotic to sit there and go after somebody's job simply because they have a bad opinion. In most cases, you're talking about somebody who is a plumber and they have some opinions you don't like. It's really counterproductive on several ends to go after their job. First off, them being a plumber is actually them contributing to society. It's why people get paid to do that job, is because it's a job that's necessary. Now, on the inverse, if, say, this person was in a job to where, they're deciding people's career fates or something like that, or if they were in a public office, that might be a different scenario. I mean, when you talk about management, poor management obviously does destroy a workplace quicker than anything you can imagine, I should say. Toxic management makes life on people who are working go from maybe difficult to an absolute living hell. So yes, maybe if somebody is got really bad judgment, maybe they should not be a manager. But that doesn't mean you can't find other productive work for them. So, on that note, with cancel culture, yeah, it's one of the disgusting things about cancel culture. Furthermore, when you're talking about just outright censoring somebody, removing their content, removing what they've said, that also is anti-stifling any discussion that might be there. Furthermore, these people might actually have a genuine grievance, not necessarily connected to whether or not somebody's black, homosexual, or female, but more a society issue or more of an issue with a bad policy or something of that nature. And I'm going to give a hypothetical example to illustrate what I'm talking about. So we're going to take Ned. Well, Ned doesn't really like black people. Ned's in the town square. They're talking about how bad black people are, how worthless they are, things of that nature. Now we're going to take John, who hears this, and he decides, what Ned is saying is entirely messed up. I'm going to go have a discussion with Ned. Let's find out why Ned thinks the way he does. So John has a discussion. John says, "Look, dude, I can't agree with what you're saying here. What exactly, what exactly is your problem with black people per se? Where have you had an experience with black people? Tell me your experience." So Ned goes on and says, "Well, I used to work at this plant 10 years ago, and they promoted Richard to the job of the manager because Richard's black. And they have this affirmative action deal going on to where the company gets a tax break for having a certain number of minorities fill management positions. Well, Richard's obviously an idiot. He messed up this, that, um, he'd always blame his problems on everyone else. And the people who own the plant would just let him do that because they were getting a tax break. Well, productivity was slow. There were unrealistic requests of us. And my last week there, Richard wanted me to do this really stupid thing. And in the process, I got hurt. A lot of equipment got damaged. My arm got broken. And instead of actually giving me the workplace comp, addressing Richard's stupid idea, they instead blamed me for the accident, fired me, and I lost a lot. Now, John responds, "Well, you know what? I hear what you're saying. It sounds like there were some bad policies there that should not have been in place. It sounds like Richard himself exercised poor judgment and should not have been the plant manager. It sounds like the owners were more interested in that tax break as opposed to actually having a successful plant. What it sounds like your problem with is all those things, so that combination of events that led up to that, more so than Richard just simply being black." Now, the town square is also observing this, and depending on their own judgment, they can hear this and receive this information as well. So, what this could possibly very well lead to is a change of policy. Maybe Richard's no longer allowed to be a manager at that plant anymore, and they put him in another job to where he can't screw it up with his bad judgment, and they replace Richard with a competent manager, regardless of race or sex or sexual orientation or anything of that nature. Perhaps they decide, okay, you know what, this policy of affirmative action, and giving companies tax breaks for promoting people on sexual orientation, race, gender, sex, or anything of that nature, maybe that's a bad policy. Maybe we need to get rid of it and work on a meritocracy. You see, with the conversation, the problem has a better chance of being solved. Say John took the inverse and decided to lead a woke mob against Ned. So they, instead of having that conversation, silence Ned. Grievances are still there, and there's an even greater animosity now that Ned's being silenced. They're now trying to get Ned fired from his current job that he is in. And, they're harassing his family, his kids. And now, not only is Ned really upset, or upset more so than he was, but his family is also even more upset. And maybe certain friends see that and they get even more upset. There's a chain reaction there. The point is that, if there is a grievance to be had, and you silence that genuine grievance, you don't solve the problem. Maybe Ned, after, all this is said and done, realizes, hey, John, you were right. On the former scenario, by the way, not the latter, it says, I really judged the wrong aspect of this, and what I should have been focusing on with these bad policies. You know, bad policies set by Richard, bad policies set by the state, and the very poor judgment and greed of the owners of the company. So, yeah, censorship is not going to solve the problems. In fact, oftentimes it prevents discussions on very serious issues and can have the opposite effect of what one may be intending. Although I don't believe many of the people pushing censorship actually give a damn about the issues they're talking about. I think this is just a way for them to silence anybody who would question them or put resistance up to whatever dumb idea they have. Um, you have me on my end. You see what I do when it comes to responding to people who have bad ideas, maybe misled, or even outright petulant liars. You don't see me censoring their stuff. In fact, oftentimes, like example, a video or two ago, I made a response to a gun controller. I didn't censor what they had to say. In fact, I had the camera up, the phone up there, excuse me, playing the video of what they said, and I left a link in the description so you can go see the video themselves. Furthermore, I went on to one of their other videos and posted the link to my video, said, hey, on the video I am responding to, the comments are disabled, so I put this here so you have a chance to see what I have to say. So, that would be the thing that opens up discussion, not censoring somebody. Censoring people is the ultimate way to stifle discussions. And the people who do this, I mean, how are you any different from, say, an alt-righter who wants black people to not have rights? Yeah, sure. The reasons may be different. One person is doing this based on race, another person's doing this because it's just ideas they don't want to hear. And that's the fact of the matter is both the censors and the people who wish to deprive other people of their liberties for some other stupid reason are both in the wrong. But we can't have these discussions when you have tech companies censoring this, when you have people in the media, instead of actually having a conversation, just smearing people. And you can't have this with cancel culture because, now, even though you could come out and talk about these issues, well, you might lose everything because you're going to come out and discuss these issues. Now, with this being said, I would love to be able to have a video back and forth between me and Chick Micken discussing these issues. However, I realize that it's not in Chick Micken's best interest solely because YouTube's going to censor him. You're going to have these cancel culture people possibly go after Chick Micken personally, which is also wrong, And could it be the case that we find that there is a genuine grievance that Chick Micken actually has, not related to race, to where Chick Micken may say, okay, you're right. Maybe judging them based on their race or their sex was wrong. But there's still this grievance here, and we can actually work to solve this grievance. And this is what censorship does. So at this point, all these people having a meltdown over Elon Musk buying Twitter, I don't really care. In fact, I enjoy it. Now, I don't think Elon Musk is going to automatically turn Twitter into a free speech utopia. Although it would be nice for him to do, I don't think he's going to do any more damage than what's already been done. Everyone's sitting there complaining, oh, well, now he owns that. The very same people who were saying before, well, it's a private company, they can do what they want. Actually, if Elon Musk bought all the stocks and then turned it into a privately owned company, that would be a private company. Whereas the current state of Twitter right now is a publicly traded company. But for some reason, you have people who can't figure that out. So on that nature, yeah, quite frankly, it doesn't matter to me, that Elon Musk is buying Twitter. Actually, I think this is funny because the people who were controlling Twitter before weren't very good stewards of it. Let's be honest about that. You know, So yeah, I'm going to wrap this up so I don't go off on any tangents. I know this video's been long enough as is. But as always, you have the comment section open. You can leave your comment. Let me know what you think on the issue. Again, I'm very much so pro free speech. I think my actions speak for that on that. Y'all take her easy out there and have a great day.